Hello, and welcome to Here by Nature. Today, we're going over a small group lesson that I did technically yesterday, but this past Thursday, over I have decided again to make a difference. And there are three main takeaways for this. The first one being small acts, eternal impact. God uses ordinary moments of compassion to reveal his extraordinary grace. Every act of love, no matter how small, carries eternal weight. And the verse coinciding with this is going to be the parable of the Good Samaritan. The parable of the Good Samaritan is in Luke 10:25 through 37, which reads, "And behold, a lawyer stood up to put him to the test, him being Jesus, saying, 'Teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?' He said to him, 'What is written in the law? How do you read it?' And he answered, 'You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself.' And he said to him, 'You have answered correctly. Do this, and you will live.' But he, being the lawyer, desiring to justify himself, said to Jesus, 'And who is my neighbor?' Jesus replied, 'A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and he fell among robbers, who stripped him and beat him and departed, leaving him half dead. Now, by chance, a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. So likewise, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he journeyed, came to where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he set him on his own animal and brought him to an inn and took care of him. And the next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper, saying, 'Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, I will repay you when I come back.' Which of these three do you think proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell among the robbers?" He said, "The one who showed him mercy." And Jesus said to him, "You go and do likewise." And the journal prompts for this takeaway are: when have I seen God turn something small, a kind word, a gentle gesture, a prayer, into something far greater than I expected? What quote-unquote ordinary opportunities might God be inviting me to see as sacred today? How can I bring intentional love into them? In what ways can I remind myself that no acts of kindness, however unseen, is wasted in God's kingdom? And the second key takeaway for how to decide to make a difference every single day is the heart behind the help. True service flows from humility and gratitude, not self-gain. A heart aligned with God's love transforms simple service into worship. And the verse coinciding with this is Galatians 5:13. I'm reading from the new I'm reading from the English Standard Version. "For you are called to freedom, brothers. Only do not use your freedom as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love, serve one another." And the journal prompts for the second key takeaway are: what motivates me when I serve others? Duty, recognition, gratitude, or love? How might God be calling me to purify that motivation? How can I view my daily responsibilities, whether seen or unseen, as acts of worship offered to God? In moments when I feel unseen or unappreciated, How can I rest in the truth that God delights in the posture of my heart more than public praise? And the third key takeaway is seeing that faith in action. When we overcome fear to step into the needs around us, we reflect Christ's heart to the world and become living testimonies of his goodness. And the verse coinciding with this is Matthew 5:16 in the New International Version, which reads, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." And the journal prompts for this are: what fears or hesitations keep me from stepping into the needs God places before me? What would courage look like in those moments? How have I witnessed God's goodness through the simple obedience of putting faith into action? What area of my life is God asking me to trust him more deeply so that my actions may reflect his heart more clearly? So for the personal reflection part, I'm going to be going over personally the second key takeaway's second question, which is, how can I view my daily responsibilities, whether seen or unseen, as acts of worship offered to God? Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I am extremely exhausted. This week has just been like super crazy, just back to back, like awesome stuff happening. But it's left me with no time to like tend to my house. Like all of it has been like doing this, going there. Like I've been putting off doing the dishes for ages. I've been putting off like sweeping. I came home and my husband like mopped the floor and it was amazing. All of that to say, I am tired. And I promise this will make sense. So I've been working a lot. I say a lot. It's a normal like 40-hour, like 9 to 5, Monday to Friday job. But I feel like my work ethic has gotten a little bit better recently, where like, I mean, today, like I helped take in the truck. So I was like tossing totes and just like, I'm physically exhausted, as well as like mentally exhausted as well, because they have me like doing all this kind of stuff. Anyway, all of that to say, my job is very much so in the background. I'm the inventory specialist at my Walgreens, and it's a lot, but it's something that I do, and I'll come out of like wherever I'm counting, which is typically the pharmacy. And my coworker friends will be like, "Hey, like I haven't seen you for the past like 2 or 3 hours. Where have you been?" "Oh, I've been doing the other half of my job," which is pharmacy, and then front end is the other half. But all of that to say, like the unseen aspect of it, like whenever I'm back in the pharmacy, like my store manager is typically back there, not necessarily helping me, but like helping the pharmacy because we're just so busy. I mean, it's a drive-through pharmacy, so we're very busy. But so she'll see me like when I'm working back there, but whenever I'm working on truck, like the front end truck of like the food, like over the counter vitamins and the cough cold stuff, like she doesn't necessarily see what I'm doing there. And I guess if you're watching this, hey, that would be really cool, but I doubt that's going to happen. Anyway, earlier today, I actually had a moment where I was able to not necessarily speak the word to somebody, but kind of plant the seed of like, hey, my church offers this young adult service that's like specific to young adults. If you don't feel like going to like regular Sunday service, like would you want to like meet me up there kind of thing? And it's those kind of little moments that I really feel like God put me into this role for, because oh my gosh, just in the short amount of time that I've been working there, I've met so many different people, and they're all awesome in their own different ways. And I've already seen how just that small invitation of like, hey, like, I want to spend my time like outside of here with you too. Like, let's hang out kind of thing. In a friend manner, of course. But yeah, just that like small invitation can like just brighten up somebody's like week, like their month, like I don't know, even their entire year. Like I said, this is a kind of like a continuation of a Bible study that I'm doing on Thursdays. And this is the second week that I've shared it, like led it kind of thing. But I don't know. It's just seeing everybody like truly, genuinely like gut laughing, like laughing from their diaphragms. It's just amazing and awesome. So, yeah. Those are the seen moments that I get to see, is kind of the point that I'm making, is like I see them, but they're unseen to others. But yeah, and this next example is kind of like a mixture of both seen and unseen. One of the friends that I invited to join me in the small group was actually a friend that hadn't been in church for like multiple years. And even whenever they'd went to church before, if I remember right, they weren't really sure that they like even understood fully what was going on. So whenever I got baptized, I invited them to church. And from there I was like, hey, we have the young adult service, like, do you want to join me there? She was like, yeah, of course, like I have time. So we go to that, and just like watching her like slowly grow in her faith is super cool. And now there's some kind of something happening in her life, and I'm really excited to see what happens. That's the unseen part of it. Like, I don't know what's going on, like whenever she leaves the church, whenever she leaves the cafe that we do the small group at, like I don't know what kind of stuff is happening in the background in any of their lives, but I am able to see them gut laugh whenever we're in small group. And for me, that's enough, because I know that that little bit of like gathering and fellowship it means a lot, kind of thing. And for me, that I wouldn't even necessarily call it a small act. Like, I'm trying to be humble, but like leading a small group is like a whole thing. So yeah, that act of leading the small group, I get to see part of it. The like hour and a half, 2 hours, however long we end up like actually staying together, about 2 hours. And yeah, I get to see that. The unseen part of it is what happens whenever they take away what we talked about, whenever they reread their notes, whenever they go through our little group chat and actually read the rest of the discussion questions we weren't able to make it through because we were still talking about the important stuff, but getting a little sidetracked, which is the fun part of it. But yeah, all of that to say, there's a lot of different explanations that I can give for this, of seen versus unseen kind of things. Yeah. But hopefully you heard whatever it is you needed to hear today. And until next week, friends, I'll see you then, and have a blessed one.